nerdsreviews.com presents Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us, we'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm Lafayette, here with Carlos.
Yellow.
Hugh McChord.
What's up?
And that's it. Just the three amigos for this episode.
As it should be.
Nerds Talking, the podcast. As it should be. Looks like Hugh's already come on. It's like, you other bums. I've listened to every episode. I've analyzed all the tricks. I know how this works. And so we're, just three guys just sitting around shooting the the shit, the turd, the crap. What else do you shoot? You shoot
The
guns.
breeze.
You shoot
Video?
The breeze. You shoot video.
You said video.
Wow, I can't believe you pulled out the shoot video. Shoot video. What do you got? You got a VHS camcorder over there?
Yeah, that's
Shoot
all.
video.
Yeah, just a
What
little
year isn't that funny?
prosumer unit.
I think it's funny when people say that when I don't know. I think it's funny when people say like with your phone, I recorded this on video. You're like, what? I recorded this on video. I think that's funny. When you hear older people say that. Yeah, look, I recorded a video. Because for us, when we think video, we think actual video cassettes, So that's how I view video. When people say video, I'm thinking I'm walking into Blockbuster and grabbing a VHS or something. You know what I mean? An actual video. But people say, I shot a video. You're like,
You'd
oh,
have to say shoot bits now, right? You would just say, yeah, I shot some bits.
how would you say it? I mean, I guess you would still
It's
say
still a
video,
video.
but it just sounds funny because video for kids is different from video from like our age. When we think, I mean, I remember, Carlos remembers this. We had the camcorder that came in the suitcase, and it looked like
It's some sort of top secret classified
And you
equipment.
throw it on your shoulder, and it was heavy as shit. And did you guys know anybody that had a Betamax?
I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
home beta.
The home
Did you
beta.
have
Yeah.
home beta? Did they make Betamax video recorders? I don't think they did.
Well, they made
Players.
beta cameras.
They did make beta cameras, right?
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Okay,
There's a
the little
tape about-
cassettes with the smaller
Not
cassettes.
that
Like
big.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what
That's
I
all
thought.
I shot up for years.
Well, that's what I thought because I remember you shot on the little Betamax tapes.
Beta. They weren't.
Well-
Betamax was
Betamax
yeah,
was
but-
smaller with
like
the home
a
stuff.
home unit. Yeah.
Yeah. Betamax is the home unit, which failed miserably. Like,
Yeah.
better not. It failed because it didn't hold as much time, right? Is that what it was?
Well, what's funny about tape to begin with is tape honestly holds far more information. The bigger tape, 1 inch, held 1 inch worth of information. I mean, that's why they recorded on formats like that, because it held, which means it still applies today. That's why they still shoot, a lot of film on film and use 1 inch. It just holds that much more information.
I mean, I was just waiting for the funny part. You set it up as this is the funny thing about it, and then I didn't hear one funny. You can't set it
No
up.
humor.
Like,
No humor
here's the
at
funny
all.
thing. You can't be like, hey, everybody, big dick. Story goes like this. I'm like, wait, whoa. This better end with
There
a
was
big dick.
There was a turtle crossing the street. Oh wait, yeah. There's no dick in this story.
No.
This is what I picture. No, mine goes like this. Like I start with the story, but I was like, he's gonna get to the big dick. I turn my phone, it's just a picture of Carlos. And like, oh yeah, he's a dick.
You win.
Bam! Big dick. He's like, I got a big dick. So wow. You children.
I wonder
children.
if the beta and VHS battle was won out by porn, just like it
We know
was
why.
with
Yes,
the
that is
HD
why.
and the. It was HD and
no,
the
that's how
Blu-ray.
DVDs won out. Yeah, that's how DVDs basically beat out VHS.
Right, and that's how
because of
HD
that
beat out,
industry.
or that's how Blu-ray beat out HD. Remember those were red cases where HD videos or discs?
Yep. Remember
Because
that? Yeah, the red
Blu-ray.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
It beat out why? Why? Because it was
The porn
smaller.
industry.
Because
The
no,
porn
the
industry.
porn industry.
How?
The porn.
What
because
difference would that
they
make?
Because nobody's renting Betamaxes, man. They're renting VHS tapes, and the porn industry
Well, that
shot
was-
on VHS tapes.
Yeah, and that was always a thing. Is the reason why VHS won out is because remember, all of us remember there was a little section in the video store, 21 or
couldn't
18
go
or
in,
what it
that's
was.
right.
You can't go in,
But you always snuck
and it
in.
was just a full library of just pornography. And
I remember walking in backwards just to see if anybody's watching. Anybody watching? I'm walking in backwards.
confused the guy. Did you just walk out? Wait. And it's funny because those would be more expensive to rent. So that's
Yeah.
the thing. They're
Yeah.
more expensive to rent. And that's kind of like what carried the video stores and the way the VHS went. Like, oh man, nobody's ever going to rent a Betamax video of this.
Right.
And they were making VHSs of these. It's funny how that works out. Also, in the same way that the internet version of porn killed any type of other medium of porn. You know what I mean? It killed the magazines. It killed the DVD. So you know what I mean? The internet just destroyed it. In that same way that Spotify and everything else killed CD sales. And
I can't believe stores even still exist. And I see them. They're like,
oh yeah,
how do
I
you
see
still
them
exist?
too.
How do they
I'll see-
exist?
I will still
got-
see adult video stores.
Well, I got a
which is
funny story about
hilarious.
adult video. For some reason, the guys got together on a Friday night, decided to go rent a porn, right? So we went to like, I don't know, it wasn't a Blockbuster, but it was one of these video stores that had a section. Anyway, so somebody got the guts to go and rent it, and they must have picked the worst possible porn on the shelf. So when we got back and we were all getting ready to, we're gonna watch this, and they put it in. It must have been the worst story. It was like almost zero sex in it. It was like some chick that was in prison. It was like some old castle prison. It was like supposed like a timepiece. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, man.
I think the worst part of the story, the worst part of that story, is
Was
the
it- was it
guys
funny?
got together.
to rent a porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that right there. That's the worst part. It's nothing to do with
Yeah.
how bad the movie was.
No.
I mean, all us guys got. What'd you guys do when you guys were watching?
No, I don't even know. To be honest, I don't even know why we decided
It's-
to do that. It was kind of
Oh,
stupid.
man, that's-
Yeah.
Oh man, I think one of the funniest ones was one time we go to this guy's house and one of the roommates, Carlos knows what I'm talking about. One of the roommates was gay, and of course he had a lot of gay porn. So he wants to play a trick on one of our buddies. So he puts it in the machine, and he's like, "Hey, don't tell him. Just turn the TV on, push play, and tell him we're gonna watch this movie." So he sits down. We're like, "Yeah, let's all watch this movie." And he hits play, and of course, it's like the dirtiest scene possible in the movie, and we're just laughing because he's like, "What the? That's what?" And he like runs and turns the TV off, and he freaks out. Like he somehow like it's contagious.
He was gonna
you
get
know?
possessed or something.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, fellas,
Yeah.
what's up? Like, and I'm like, it was just hilarious. Yeah, it's funny stuff. But yeah, it's funny when we started, the whole VHS thing. But yeah, I think that's what took it down. But that's what took that again. The mediums that goes controls in an aspect the home whatever viewing of how not just that industry, but other, the mainstream industry went back in the 90s and early 2000s. But now, like I said, I mean, if you're dumb enough of a guy to pay for XXX or whatever,
That's
you're
what
an
I don't
idiot,
understand at all. I don't
Like,
even know how
you're
there's
just-
even pay sites available. Like I saw,
right?
I was checking out because we're gonna have a guest on in a couple of weeks. Their podcast is about sex scenes in movies. And so I was checking out a clip that they had on their website, and right before the clip started was this advertising for this website called jerkmates.com.
I know what it
And
is.
You really? Okay, well then that's that. But anyway, it's
I've seen. I've
when
seen
is
the
your
ad.
membership? Does your membership is it a monthly thing or do you pay annually? Do you
Just
pay
lapsed.
anally? But anyway, I saw this advertisement. I'm like, why do people still pay for porn? Jerkmates is what they should call Twitter or Tumblr. That's what you really want to call it, because you can get this stuff for free all over the internet. Why are you paying for this? Even that fan only or only fan, whatever it is. People are paying for that and making people, 6 figures a year because they want to see this. Well, you can get this for free, man.
Yeah, that boggles my mind too. Same way that stores still exist that rent tape. I mean, why? Unless they just don't have access to the internet. I suppose there are still people who don't have access.
Yeah, in third world countries.
I mean, but even if you didn't have access, you have access to a cell phone, right? You got access to a cell phone.
Oh, that's true. Even your cell phone. You can call your cell phone a jerk mate if you want.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, I think my cell phone's filthier than my mind.
Like, my cell phone is blind.
My cell phone. Like I like, where is it at? And I see it trying to run into a church, and I'm like, stop that! Get back here! And I'm like,
possessed. It's trying to get the
not possessed. Yeah, he's trying to just get cleansed of all the sins it has all these sins on it, and just horrible. Just but yeah,
my cell phone could talk, boy. I tell you what.
That is what's the dirtiest movie you've seen that was a standard movie? It wasn't a porno. It was like, came out in theaters. Like, what's a movie you can remember? You're like, wow, this is right on the cusp of, like, which one do you guys remember? Can you come? Is there one that sticks out to you?
Basic Instinct.
Really?
Well, that had scenes.
Yeah, but
you could argue, and in fact, they were argued that they legitimately had sex in those scenes.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. I mean, I think
Showgirls or maybe Monsters Ball would be closer than Basic Instinct.
Except that they didn't have those rumors. So yes, in terms of nakedness, yeah.
What's is there another one? Something like 56 weeks or 52 weeks or man, what is
50
it
weeks of gray or
no. It's not 50. This movie came out like the early 90s, maybe. It was like known as like Filth, and I forgot what it was called.
You talking about the Mickey Rourke movies, the 2 movies?
Yeah, the Mickey Rourke movie.
Isn't that the Blue Velvet?
No, it's
the Blue Velvet. It's like 56 weeks or 50, something like that.
The 2 movies you did with Kim Basinger.
It's called. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. But that's not saying that's not one I would say. But I remember that got a lot of like, oh my god, this movie's filthy. But man, I really like trying to think of one that, like I said, that you're just like, man, this is like on the cusp of just being porno, like. That really just pops out in mind.
Brown Bunny.
Brown Bunny. What's
ever heard of it?
You never heard of that movie? It was made by it had Chloe Sevigny in it. Chloe Sevigny was in most recently that zombie movie with Bill Murray and
yeah, I know who she is. She was in when she is in American Beauty, right? With Kevin Spacey.
No, she was in.
Are you sure?
Boys Don't Cry. She was in that.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of someone else then. But anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to think. Like I said, just like movies that, like I said, are known as just. I never saw 50 Shades of Grey. I heard it was also like pretty raunchy, but I never seen it.
Well,
I think you might be talking about Wild Orchid, the Mickey Rourke film. That one's pretty.
Either is that one pretty bad?
Pretty steamy. Pretty steamy.
I mean, Brown Bunny has a sex scene in it with her that he, they were apparently going out at the time, and I guess he suggested she do, and she did, and she says she doesn't regret it though. But yeah, it's the only one I could think of that actually had one, a legitimate
oral sex scene, and she performed fully on tape.
Yeah, with what was his name? It was
I don't know.
Ebert.
When did this come out?
I'm telling you in a minute.
Well, I'll give you a quick rank before we go to break. Okay, this is a ranking. The most erotic movies that are rated R. Okay. Here, number 1, Unfaithful with Diane Lane and Richard Gere.
That's pretty good, but it's not raunchy.
I was gonna say it's not. That movie's not really. That's not a raunchy way. I'm the same as you. I think this list is giving me just rated R movies. When I'm looking for like 7. Here we go. This is only 7 rated R movies that contain graphic nudity. Number 1, Hugh wins. Basic Instinct.
Really?
Hugh gets a point. Well,
the The Sharon
Think
Stone
about-
scene.
Yeah, just think about that scene. I mean, number 2, Requiem. Is it
Requiem for a Dream. That is dirty.
Yeah, Requiem
Oh,
for a
yeah.
Dream. It's a Darren Aronofsky film, so I expect it to be a little
Jared
dirty.
Leto and
It's
Jennifer
actually-
Connelly.
It's a great movie, actually. It really is.
Oh,
well
number
done.
3. How is number 3 not number 1? Boogie Nights.
Mm,
I mean, I know it's about porn, but it's
It's
I don't know.
the only graphic scenes in that are actually real porn stars.
This one I have heard of it, never saw. I think it's in Spanish to be, but I've heard of it. It's called Why Tu Mama Tambien. Again, it's,
Why Your Mama's
I've
Well?
heard of it.
Never heard of it. I've never heard of it.
Okay. Oh, here's the movie I was telling you about. Number 5 on the list.
9.5
weeks.
9.5 weeks.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
9.5.
They did a
weeks.
sequel to that.
But Basinger,
10 weeks.
he wasn't in it.
No,
She,
another 9.5 weeks is called another 9.5.
because she did not like working with him.
Another one, number 6 on the list, is called Sex and Lucia. It's a Spanish film, so you probably would never heard of it. And of course, number 7 on the list, Eyes Wide Shut, which did get some pretty
not
like
graphic though.
I don't
It's
think it's graphic
nudity,
either, you know,
but it's not graphic.
It has a lot of nudity.
Yeah, because if you put some of these movies up against what you were saying, how many are close to actually being porn? Unfaithful, no. Eyes Wide Shut, no.
No,
I wouldn't.
No.
9.5 weeks,
I
wasn't
wouldn't. Man, I saw that such a long time. I couldn't even tell you about 9.5 weeks if it was. But no.
And
Well,
even
there you go.
Boogie Nights, that's
Showgirls.
not really too close to porn either. It's just a lot of
No.
nudity.
Well, then how about Orgasmo? That's a funny movie. All right, let's take a break here on Nerds Talking to Podcast. We'll be right back with more just filth.
A new podcast is coming to the Nerd Reviews Network. Nutso and Chuck on Taco Tuesdays podcast. They're going to talk about tacos, ingredients, what makes the food so soulful. Who am I kidding? It's going to be a show about entertainment, laughter, puns, and jokes. So tune into the Nerd Review Network to get your taste of some filling deliciously tacos prepared for you by Nutso and Chuck. Taco Tuesdays, baby.
Nutso and Chuck are not responsible for refunds or therefore the lack of refunds for the taste or tasteless product that you have consumed. Please hit like and subscribe everywhere you listen to podcast music, Spotify or Apple Music. Listen to us on nerdreviews.com. Thank you.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast here with Hugh and Carlos, and I'm Lafayette. And we left you with just a little bit of dirty on the mind. Hopefully you've during the break you went and cleansed yourself maybe with a nice soda, a beer,
Cleanse your soul.
drank some water. Cleanse your soul. Maybe you rubbed the holy water all
I was
over
going to say
yourself.
holy water.
Where do you get it besides church, though? That's the thing. I mean,
You can buy it
people-
at Catholic stores, Bible stores.
you can buy it at Bible, but you can't buy it by like the gallon. Like you can buy a gallon of water.
What
you
do
know?
with a gallon of it?
You pour it over
That'd
yourself.
be great. You walk into a Catholic store and just start chugging it. Like, oh my God, the sins that I've seen. Oh my, and just start chugging it and then pay for it as you walk up to the counter.
Right. And when you take a piss, it's like it's gold that's like shining. It's not like because you need to drink a lot of water. It's literally just clear, but
You
no,
can.
It's just golden showers.
Like
You can
it
buy it by
shines
the
like when you
gallon.
open the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, that big
Yeah,
gold light.
Yeah. Oh, so you can, how much does it cost by the gallon here?
Maybe it was
Since
a
you looked it up.
container. Maybe it's just a container.
I'll take a
Three-
container. How much is a
300
container?
How
much?
$300.
$100.
Here's one for 200.
Holy crap! What if you take a gallon of water, and a priest, but you
Have him
you
bless
don't
it.
ask him to bless it. You just walk by and kind of brush it against them. Does that count? How does that work?
Well, priest will
does
do a
that
blessing for free if you ask him. He'll do that whole.
That's
he'll
true.
just hold it
That's
up in
true.
front of you as he starts. Just hold it up.
Yeah, he can't
he has
stop.
some-
It's by
that's
law.
right,
He can't
that's
stop his
right.
blessing. He's like, "What are you holding up? I can't stop this." And, like, just bless it, damn it. No matter what it is, it's just a pizza I bought 2 days ago.
Just go to the church with
Wanna
a
make sure it's
flask and
good
just
to
dip it
eat.
in the thing.
That's true.
Take the water
That's
home with you.
true.
That's-
I've done that where I went to how you dip your fingers in it. You just dip like the tip of your fingers and do the sign.
Mhm.
I've done it where I've accidentally
Wash
put my
your
whole hand. I
face.
was like, oh god damn it, what do I do with all this now? I'm like just rubbing it on my face, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wash my genitals, and then
You smell like Jesus.
you know,
Is that like a cologne?
I smell just like Jesus. Yeah, people are like, what's that cologne, Jesus? What? Good old J-Man. All right.
You only wear it
Yeah,
on
so
Sundays.
good old church, man. You know, church. It's, church is always an interesting, fascinating topic, but we'll get into some other time. I pose this question to Carlos. This is a good question for both of you. Do you guys watch the UFC? Do you guys even remotely interested in UFC?
Not really.
Yeah.
Oh, you like UFC?
I watch
Okay.
every week.
Carlos, you don't watch. I have ESPN. Well, yeah, I have ESPN Plus, so I can watch all the Saturday night fights, and I do watch time to time. Don't you? I mean, I don't know. I've always been kind of like, why do you want to get punched in the face? That's it's always my take on UFC. Even when I watch boxing, I'm like, oh, you're entertaining me, but this is stupid. That's what I always think when I watch it. This is stupid. Do people do men still find this like this is macho and badass? I'm gonna cheer for this guy. I watch it still, and I still think it's dumb as hell. Like after 3 rounds, this dude looks like somebody took a brick to his face, and they're like, "You won by a point." Yeah, I won. Like he has no clue. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I like to watch it. And at the same time, I think it's pointless. I don't know. I guess mindless entertainment. But the guys that do it, are they the mindless ones? I don't know.
Well,
I've seen several events live, like amateur fights, and I've seen a couple of guys who you thought for sure were going to lose. His head was already cracked open. He's bleeding everywhere. And then he survives the round. They let him go to the next, and he comes back and wins. It's like you said, it's just sitting there and just watching these two guys just pummel each other. To me, I mean, I don't get excited over it, but you can see the crowd just goes nuts over it. And these guys certainly get excited over it, especially when they win. It's like they just, it's the biggest championship they've ever won type attitude, when they're done.
Well, honestly, I think of it a lot like a triathlon, for example, or those mud races that people do that are like, 25-mile long, or they could be 100-mile multiple day runs that just beat the living fuck out of their bodies, and yet they do them. I mean, what's to be gained from that other than at the end you're saying, yeah, you're putting yourself up against somebody else saying I am faster, better than you in this. Not that you're not going to congratulate them afterwards, but that's what you're doing it for. And to me, UFC is the same thing. Like, you guys watch wrestling. I know you do, Carlos. And
yeah.
And wrestling to me is no different, especially when you know how hurt some of those guys can get. Do they get as hurt as quickly? No. But you don't see a big degree of difference in terms of long-term potential injury between wrestlers and UFC guys. I don't think. I mean, look at them. Look at some of the guys who are wrestlers and what they look like now. Some of them are just completely messed up. Their backs are messed up. Whatever. Mankind, for example, he's the best example I can think of. And to me, it's just clear as day that he does what he did to be the best he could be, better, to take better falls than maybe some of the other guys. So, in terms of UFC, nobody, I think, goes in there thinking, I'm going to get punched 50 fucking times this fight and try to win. They don't think they're going to get punched 50 times. But once you're in it, you're in it. I mean, that I do think it's bragging rights. I mean, when you say bragging rights, it's just a guy training to say that I'm better than you in this fight. And to me, that's what it is. It's like any sport. Why do guys, a team sport's a little easier because it's a bunch of guys all together. That's why they talk about boxing, for example, as being one of the hardest sports on an athlete, because there is no team. You have guys in your corner, but they're not taking shots to the head like you are.
Well, like those UFC guys, they actually carry a badge of honor. It's like if I see one of these guys out at a bar or just out wherever, and you can see their ears are totally jacked up, those cauliflower ears. And you're like, I don't want to mess with that guy because he can either fight or he knows how to get his ass kicked real good. Either way, I don't want to mess with him. You know what I'm saying? So that carries a badge of honor as well. I see it all the time.
Right. I mean, I really feel like it's their way of, they're saying, I'm doing something that you can't do, or maybe don't have the courage to do.
Right.
To me, it's even similar to like actors. Like when my daughter asks, or when we're talking about acting, I'll say there's nothing better than that thrill of being up on stage, for example, because you're doing something most people in the audience don't have the guts to do.
I watch it, but when I watch it and I see, like I said, when I watch the fight, I just think to myself, I guess my thing is it's pointless in the end. Like, it's entertainment. I get it. Basketball is pointless, but sports in general, you could say, are pointless. But beating each other up, man, that is, I don't know. It doesn't do anything, I guess, for me in the sense, I don't root. It's not like wrestling where they can guide a character and you like, yeah, The Rock and Hogan. Oh man, those are my guys. UFC, I could care less who wins. That's just, I'm just like, oh, he won. Oh, okay. The Brazilian won again. Like, I guess that's what it is. I don't see any value in it as somebody that to really be consumed by, oh, St. Pierre's my guy. Like to be honest, two guys fighting each other to entertain a crowd is, I don't know. I just
well, that's just because you're not a fan. I mean, it's hard to say.
Well, I watch a lot of it.
Yeah, but if you're still not a fan, you're still not, still not going to find any entertainment value in it. I mean, there's a lot of guys that do follow these certain fighters. And
they go
nuts. Well, because they know their storyline. So in the same vein as a wrestling, as a wrestling match, the storylines. If you're
you're right.
If you follow WWE, for example, the storyline didn't just start in that match. It started probably 3 months ago. And so you're way into that storyline, just like I might be with some of these fighters. Like John Jones, for example, is a guy who was a light heavyweight champion and now is going up to heavyweight. So I followed his storyline a lot. The thing I've always liked about it, I liked wrestling. I still like wrestling to a degree, but a lot of it's is an acted part to it. And so many of these guys are horrendous actors, that it's hard to watch. It's just, they're just bad actors. And some of the storylines are bad. I mean, they're just not, and I know after you've been doing it for 30 or 40 years, what's left to right? You're pretty much.
Yeah, you're right. It's I'm going to say it's 80% acting and 20% wrestling. And if you have guys that can't deliver and can't act, I mean, a lot of the guys who could do all that are gone. That's why I don't watch WWE like I used to, because they just aren't as good as they used to be. I mean, The Rock, Hogan, Stone Cold, Macho Man, those guys could all carry the show. But these guys now, they just don't. They're just not. I don't know. They just can't do it.
Okay, well, my last question before we go to break.
I got one more example too. So
yeah, go for it. No, go for it.
Well, no, I was going to give you an example because it just came to me. An example of real actors acting a fight, and the difference between real actors doing it and the guys in the WWE. And not to say all of them are bad. Some of them are, okay. But real actors, you could argue, like the De Niro Stallone movie, where they, played aging boxers.
Oh, yeah.
That movie was funny as hell, and those guys were believable as hell. And
I think it was believable because we had two old, slow guys boxing, and we were like, right, that's what it would look like.
Right, but I'm saying, I'm not even talking about the boxing as much as I'm talking about the action leading up to it, the back and forth between them, which is what a lot of wrestling is. Back and forth between them, then you get to the match. I mean, that's what two real actors are like doing it together. So,
the movie is good in general. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't have the boxing. But I was going to say the last before we go to break is, if Dana White came up to both of you and said, hey, here's the deal. Every round you last in a 5-round fight, I will give you $50,000. Would you take it? Now, remember, you have to last an entire round to earn now, okay, so the guy you fight, he's going to be like, let's say he's ranked 30th in whatever division you fall into. Do you take the fight?
No.
5 minutes. I mean, 5 rounds. Remember, each round is, I think, 3 or 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Was it 5 minutes?
Oh, no, in MMA it's 5.
Yeah, so it's 5 minutes. You have basically have to last 25 minutes to make $250,000, or try to last one round to make 50,000. But if you don't last one round, you get nothing but a beat up face. What do you do?
Do I get to train?
Of course, you get to train.
Then absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put me in the ring. Give me
Okay.
a couple months. Give me 6 months to train. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put me in the ring.
I agree.
Okay.
I think I can last at least one round. I'm sure I can shuffle around the octagon for a little bit and run away from the guy. I can Mayweather my fight, man. I can Mayweather that round easy.
You think you can last 5 minutes in
Absolutely.
one round?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, with 6 months of training, yeah.
Yeah.
You think your 6 months of training is gonna make you last those 5 minutes against
Up against the number 30
fighter?
rank? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll Mayweather that round. I'll
This
just
is your
run around
first
the
fight
ring.
ever.
It's all right. I got my 50
Okay,
grand.
so you think you'd last at least one round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hugh, do you think you'd last at least one round?
Yeah. One round.
Okay. I mean, I'd last 3 rounds. All right, let's take a break here on Nerds Talking the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Nerds Talking, brand new episodes every Friday on Nerd Reviews Network. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out. Ka-chow.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the podcast. I'm Lafayette. I'm here with Hugh McChord and Carlos, a class president, from what I hear. Carlos was a class president. Did you have a vice president?
No, actually, I wasn't a class president. Well, I was actually the class prime minister.
Oh, this is Canada.
Yeah.
Wow. So who was your vice minister?
I didn't have one.
Oh, wow. You ran it with a strong iron fist.
That's right. All by
What grade?
myself.
What grade was this?
6th grade.
6th grade, huh? And what was your what were you tasked to do as the class president? Like, really, what did you have any? You just get to read like roll call, or I don't know, like.
I don't remember. I think it was just something goofy like that. They just made me class prime minister.
Oh, so you were just picked. We weren't even.
No, they
voting.
voted, but I
Oh,
won
they
by
voted.
popularity. Yeah, I was a popular guy.
This guy.
Yeah.
Wow, the next Justin Trudeau over here.
That's right.
Look at that. There's the look right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Class, that's pretty good. Okay. How about you? Did you have like same thing when you no class presidents?
Oh,
or
no, we
anything?
did.
But you didn't. Were you involved in any way? No. Okay.
No, my high school was very cliquish.
But not even high school, because think about it. Carlos was elementary school.
Well, in junior high, there probably were, but junior high was, I think, just as cliquish as high school was. High school was more noticeably cliquish.
Oh,
But I was Prince Charming in junior high.
A play?
In a play.
Oh, okay. In the play. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Not
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
bad. I remember my 6th grade, same as Carlos, they had the president, but it was legit. They had debates against it. So we had 2 6th grade classes. They had to pick one to run, and the whole school had to vote, everyone. And then during like recess, they would campaign. So I drew the campaign posters for one of them, and they were so rude. They were like, "Don't vote for Robert," something like he won't get what you want. He'll just get rid of things you like. Or it's like slander for 6th graders. Like, and the worst part is they would promise things would never happen. Oh, we're gonna get pizza 3 times a week, and we're gonna get a candy machine, and it's funny because I always think the principal's looking at you like, what? Don't make these promises. Don't.
That's never gonna happen.
So
wasn't that what politics is all about?
Yeah. Well, my candidate won because she literally promised, I think, straight A's to everyone. And, and it's funny because then she gives a speech during like an assembly as if she now has obtained power, and I'm like, I think I was running with the wrong person. Like, damn it, she has power now. And I just think it's funny that they teach those things to kids, but they don't really learn anything from it. Like, were you guys, what age were you actually into politics, if ever? Like, when did it start? Or when do you remember? Well, like, when do you
4
remember,
years ago?
like,
4
even
years
being,
ago.
when do you remember even being invested in any way in, like, because for me, I remember it was Bill Clinton. For some reason, when Bill Clinton ran for president, which was what
4?
94, right?
No,
Wasn't that?
94.
No, it can't be
That was
94.
96.
It was 92. It was 92 because he remember at 2000 he was out.
Yeah.
And Bush, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
in 92, I think I was in 8th grade or whatever.
Oh, I know when.
And it's funny, I had Bill Clinton stickers all over my binders, on my
Wow.
backpack.
Wow.
And I was like, vote for Bill Clinton. And I'm talking to 8th graders. Like, who are they gonna vote for? I'm like, you guys better vote for Bill Clinton. They're like, who's Bill Clinton? He's a ladies' man. And
And yes,
he
he
likes
was.
cigars, and he puts cigars in places that I still aren't quite sure because I'm only in 8th grade and let's not go there yet. But he likes cigars. And that's the first like time like politics wise was ever like, oh, politics are cool. That's the earliest I remember any type of political, besides Carlos being the president of 6. I remember that was all over the news in Canada.
Absolutely.
I remember that was breaking news in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, oh, small town in Ontario, Kitchener has a new prime minister. And even the prime minister of Canada, the prime minister of Canada was confused. He's like, wait a second, they have their own prime minister? How does this happen? And he's promised straight A's to everyone. God damn
That's
it.
right.
All they promised was free health care. Like, this guy's better than me. He's promised you education.
Who was the prime minister of Canada? Was it Trudeau?
No.
It was Mulrooney when I was
Mulrooney.
prime minister. It was Mulrooney.
Yeah.
I was probably better than him at the time too, to be honest with you.
I heard he was pretty bad. Even though I don't remember. I remember the name, but I heard he was pretty bad. Though.
Brian Mulrooney.
Yep, I remember.
Was he a defenseman?
I don't know. I
He
didn't
sounds
follow
like a hockey
politics.
man. No, it sounds like a
Oh.
hockey man. He played for the Senators.
Don't they all?
You know, that's what he did too. He was a defenseman for the Canucks. You know, that was his actual job. But okay, Hugh, go ahead. Give me when you like your first inclination of politics,
Well-
or like when you were any interest even at a young age.
Probably the most emotional moment was Obama when he was
Okay,
elected.
So
when
pretty
he was
current then. So pretty
yeah,
current.
but I did vote a little bit before then, primarily
Yeah.
to like please my dad who couldn't have cared less. Like that's the only time I think I ever voted for a Republican candidate just so I could tell my father I had done it, and he was like, "Okay." Like couldn't have cared.
I like that. I'm gonna vote to please my daddy. Dad, I
Like-
voted for Bush. He's like, good for you, son, or whatever. Like,
Yeah, I think it was Ford. Even worse.
no, wow, even way back too.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Obama. Okay, I see that. I think a lot of people would say Obama. To be honest,
I was
think
absolutely. I remember being on a shoot and it was announced, and it was just like everybody was emotional. Like,
Yeah, no, I think I think after Clinton, a lot of people kind of like, whatever. You know, they kind of wandered off. And then when this guy Obama came around, like, oh, I piqued my interest.
yeah,
I think that's what it is. He just picked. I mean, the guy speaks the way he speaks is like,
he has an air. He
it's
has
just
an
the way
air
he
about it.
speaks. You know,
Yeah.
He has like he pauses in between when he talks, and he does this, and he does that, where he's just kind of like, I don't know. I think he's great at speaking. Like his speeches are. He could say anything. He could read Dr. Seuss, the banned books, and I would listen. I wouldn't listen because then I'd be canceled. But I would pretend.
Plus Michelle is fun and hot, in
Well,
my opinion.
let me tell you something. Listen, that's what he did. Like he he does every syllable, and he pauses for everything. Carlos, I'm here with you. You were a prime minister, and let me tell you, you did a great job. And you and he's like, he's in 6th grade. Doesn't matter. I thought he was fantastic. Like everything is a syllable. Boom, 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 boom.
Damn
But yes,
right I was.
oh god damn it, he still claims to be prime minister because he's in his mind he never lost.
I never got voted out.
Never
man.
lost. he's
That's right.
he's the LeVar Ball of prime ministers. Never lost.
Faded out. He just faded out.
Oh, he's the VHS tapes of prime ministers. This guy. Right over here. Never lost.
The laser disc.
Oh shit, that's laser disc of prime ministers. Wow, that's a loss. That's a loss. I was reading recently about Laserdisc, I was interested in how much data they held. Did you know that they held all raw data, meaning that it was better clarity than even today? Because
I don't doubt that.
Because none of it was compressed. Zero of it was compressed.
Oh wow!
Probably why they were so big. They were huge.
Yeah,
They
that
were
is those are the
vinyls.
records. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why, because nothing was compressed on those things.
And you had to flip them right in the middle of the movie. You had to flip the disc.
Yeah,
over.
you did. Yeah, because it was just straight silver on both sides. Yeah. It was and they were expensive. I think they're like $80 a piece. Remember
$80
that?
a pop. Yeah.
And not every movie got a laser disc. It was like just certain ones.
Yeah.
I think it was just like the movies that were hits. Just the blockbuster. Did you know anybody that ever had a laser disc? I sure the hell didn't.
No.
Yeah.
Hugh, you did. Did you have one?
No. Hell
But
no.
You knew
I couldn't
somebody
have
that
afforded.
did.
Yeah, I knew people who had
okay.
higher end systems that could play them.
Yeah, it's still crazy. Laser discs are funny to me, man. Like, you know how vinyls come back, which I think is funny too. I saw somebody walking around Target, he had like 5 vinyls underneath his arm, and I wanted to yell at him. Because, the vinyl snobs will say, it's better quality.
It is not.
Yeah, I know, but that's what they'll tell you, because it's what do they say? It's high fidelity, right? That's what they'll tell you. It's just how it's supposed to sound. Listen, when the Beatles recorded a record, they didn't want it to sound cracking. They didn't
Exactly. Yeah. Have you ever heard a dirty record or a dirty needle? No way, man.
Yeah, like when you played Motley Crue, and Motley Crue played that in the studio, they're like, I don't hear the cracking. Like, I don't get it. Like, people are stupid that actually think that. I don't get it. And I don't understand why people that are like in their early 20s, I don't know. Is it just again a hipster type of thing? Is it I don't know, the version of being cool these days? Like vinyl records?
I think it's because they missed out on it. So they want to be part of something that they missed out on. So they're trying to bring it back, trying to make it cool again. I'm like, dude, you weren't there. You don't know. It's really not that great. I'm glad they have compact discs. I'm glad they have digital music now.
Yeah. I don't know. And cassettes are back too. Freaking cassettes. Who wants to flip over a tape and rewind it and fast forward?
And they're remaking Walkmans, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to have to if they got cassettes.
I mean, for God's sake, they still have Discman in stores. Which is wild. When you have a phone, why do you need a Discman?
I had a Walkman for many years.
Oh my God.
I knew someone who had a Discman, and this person had brought it over to the house, and they had put it in the room when it was doing. I'm like, well, where's the disc? What's taking so long? Oh, I have to rewind the disc.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God. Because she had no clue how it actually worked. Like, it was all new to her, so she thought you rewind discs.
I had to rewind the disc.
Oh my God, yes. That's a classic. That is a classic. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Let's take a break here as we rewind the show a little bit and then fast forward here on Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Hi there. I'm Megan.
And I'm Danielle.
And we are Crime and Roses.
We are a true crime and Bachelor franchise recap podcast.
Yeah, we're both.
We are 2 Georgia attorneys watching and recapping all things Bachelor just for you.
So we're talking Bachelor, Bachelorette,
Bachelor in Paradise, Winter Games, Summer Games, all the games.
Basically any show that ABC comes up with and forces us to watch, and then we'll release a true crime episode connected to what we've seen on the show that week.
So if you don't like true crime, we have The Bachelor. And if you don't like The Bachelor, we have true crime.
And if you don't like either,
we're probably not the podcast for you, and that's okay.
So if you're into one of those things, both of those things, come check us out as we combine our 2 favorite things into one-stop listening shop for you.
So find us on your favorite podcatcher and on social media at Crime and Roses, and email us at crimeandroses@gmail.com.
Bye. Love you. Mean it.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm Lafayette. I have Carlos here. I have Hugh McChord here. And one's a prime minister, and one knows a guy that had a laser disc. So we're doing pretty good on this show. Good. Okay, so we'll go back to some Nerds Talking roots. We're talking about movies. And we're going to talk about just your top 5, no random order, just 5 movies that no matter what, when people say, what's your favorite movie? Like, and it just pops to you, like, already, oh, this one, like, this has always been on my list, and so we'll go around the horn. It's like going to be one at a time. So I'll start. No matter what people ask me what my favorite movie is, this movie always comes to mind. It's The Crow Don't know why, but I've always loved The Crow. I can watch it anytime.
Good movie.
I just watched it like a couple days ago, and if you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. And yeah, I love that movie, The Crow. That's the one that always pops in mind is The Crow. And my favorite scene is when he's duct taping the guy to the car, and the guy he keeps looking at the Crow, Brandon Lee, and he finally clicks to him like, "Oh, I know you." And he's like, "They ain't no coming back. They ain't no." He's like, "God, this guy came back from the dead," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's I love this." Anyway, The Crow is mine. Hugh, give me one. One that always, no matter what, it's on your list.
It's the only movie that I can watch over and over and over again. I almost rarely do that with any movies. I just don't want to. The Game with Michael Douglas.
Oh, okay. That's a good movie.
It's the
That's a good movie.
soundtrack.
Oh, I've not seen that one.
Oh, geez, you got to watch it. Please watch it.
Well, that's
I'll
because
pay you to watch
somebody.
it.
Well, that's because somebody years ago said that they were going to get me a copy, and I never received that copy, Mr. McChord.
Now I got
That
to
was
find it.
you.
No, remember that time he came over with Monopoly? That's what he meant. What? Anyway, Carlos, Prime Minister, give me yours.
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Man, that's for his second to last film. Man, that guy left it all on the cutting room floor and the floor of his apartment. That guy. What the
with
hell's
all
his name
three.
again? What is his name again? I forgot.
Who?
Come on, give it to me.
Nolan?
Joker. No.
Oh,
Joker.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. Man, just too bad, man. That guy, because he'd be on a whole nother level right now. He really because of that role, though, he'd be one of the top 5 guys probably in Hollywood. Hugh, give me number 2. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what do you think about the fact that guy did that part and the part in Brokeback Mountain? The two guys.
Well, didn't he won for that one, right? Or was it Jake Gyllenhaal? It was him. Okay.
I think it was him. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Hugh, give me number 2. Go.
Shawshank Redemption. Oh my God! Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Next.
Good choice. Yeah, good choice. Okay.
You don't like Shawshank, really?
When I think
see
about
it once, but then it drags.
that's what
the
it
second
is.
time.
See, I think about these movies like that, like it's something I can watch all the time. Shawshank, I cannot. I just, man, Andy Dufresne, I don't give a crap if you live or die. Stay in jail, get butt raped over and over. I do not care. Like, Andy was my friend. Like, I don't. My second one is Godfather 2, Part 2. I think Part 2 is amazing. Robert De Niro just steals the show. It's just the way that movie plays out when it goes back and forth in time and all that. Man, it's so good. It's if you haven't seen Godfather 2, man, that's a classic. Good old. Was that?
I haven't seen any Godfather film.
That's not Scorsese. That's what's his
Have
name.
you haven't?
Not one Godfather film.
Really?
Not one.
So there's 3, of course. Number 3. Okay, number 1 is good. It's really good. Number 2's better. That's how good number 1 is. Number 2 is better. Number 3 is, man, it's not good, but they did the director's cut recently, and it makes it 10 times better. There's like another 30 minutes in, and it fills in the gaps of the story and all that. But man, I'm telling you, watch number 1 and 2. But number 2 is, I remember watching that, and I was like, man, De Niro looks like, because he was young. And you're like, man, okay, this guy, I could see why he got all these roles. Like, he was the Brad Pitt of his day. Like, yeah, it was great though. Yeah, number 2 on my list is Godfather. Carlos, what do you got?
Well, it's probably one you haven't even heard of. It's
Oh wait, let me guess. It's a Canadian film, huh? You goddamn Prime Minister.
It's a Downey Jr. film with Val Kilmer. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
That is a funny movie. That is a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Good movie.
It's actually a good movie. Yeah, that's a good movie.
I've never seen that.
So there you go. There you go. I mean, that's a good movie. I remember that movie. Yeah, that's a good movie. Hugh, give me another one.
Newer. Inception. Now wait. Now before you say something, this could be outside of the top 5. I'm just trying to not make all of my movie choices like before 1995.
Oh no, I hear you.
So
I don't know if I could pick, man, a Nolan movie.
Inception.
Well, Carlos already picked a Nolan movie, so there we got one already.
But that's a good Nolan movie, Dark Knight.
Inception, huh? Man. Okay. Mine is gonna be Remember the Titans.
Great movie.
Love that movie.
Great
Love that movie. And that's a movie you can watch over and over. It's really well. No, I don't know if there's a movie you can watch over and over in the same day you get sick, but that's such a good movie. Carlos, number 3. You have a third one.
You know what I really like is The Rock, the Nick Cage movie, Sean Connery.
Oh yeah.
I really like that movie.
It's a good movie. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
I like fun movies like that are kind of just.
It was good.
Like it's. I mean, it's outlandish in its premise and the action.
Was Slater in that? No, he wasn't. I'm thinking of something different. Okay, never mind. Christian Slater.
I think you're thinking of Broken Arrow.
There was another Slater movie where he played like a junior monk. Like he had
That's not it. No. Junior Monk.
Gleaming the Cube?
Yeah, Gleaming the Cube.
No, but but there was a rumor about the movie he was in, the one I'm talking about, that he and the waif from the village.
What was the rumor? Please fill it
actually got it on during the scene.
Oh, that wasn't on my list. Okay. What's your movie? Give it to me.
Next one? Another one?
Mm-hmm.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's a good movie. I've seen it once.
It's a tremendous
It just
movie.
doesn't make me want to watch it again. But it's a good movie.
I have another good one. There's so many. Now they're flooding into my head now.
The rest of my movies are Woody Allen movies after I've seen the documentary. Actually, I don't even I don't even like any Woody Allen movie. I don't think there's one I could tell you. Anyway, another one I really like that I watch when it's on all the time. Carlos is probably going to name this one next. Tombstone.
That's a great movie.
Oh, yes. That is a great movie.
Man.
Because I remember you had mentioned something about...
That's with Kurt Russell, right? And what's his name?
Val Kilmer.
Yeah, Kilmer. Yeah.
Because I remember Lafayette had mentioned something about supporting characters that are actually better than the leading characters, and that's a movie right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so many good actors in that movie too. Oh my god, so many good actors in that movie.
You know what line I remember when they're burying the guy and they walk by. What's his name? And he's like, "Well, bye."
Yeah. That's man, that movie. That makes my if it's on, I'll watch it. Like, man, that's all right. I'll give you one more. I think you guys each gave 4 already or 3.
4.
3.
Okay, Hugh's at 4. Carlos at 3. I'll go one more than Carlos. Your turn. My next one, when it's on, I don't know why. I always watch it. It's Back to the Future. When it's on, I watch it. I'm like, this movie's so good. I will, even though I know everything's gonna happen. It's such a good movie. All right, there's my number 4. Carlos, give me your number 4.
Casino Royale.
That's a good movie. Yeah, that's a good one.
What's good about it is that you never think it's gonna end. It almost seems like it has 3 endings. You know, right when you think it's over, it keeps going. Then you think it's over again, it keeps going. Man, that's probably the best reboot James Bond movie.
Yeah, of the ones that Daniel Craig did, that's probably the best one. Yeah, for sure. Hugh, give me your number 5.
Oh, it's just throwing this one out as a movie you could watch many times because of the action. Training Day.
That's a good movie. That is a good movie. Yeah, it's I don't know about action wise. It's just a good movie.
It's good action, and it was set in East LA.
You ever have your shit pushed in?
Ooh,
yeah.
I've had my shit pushed in.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's Hugh's 5 movies. Let's see if we can rename them. Let's see. He said Shawshank Redemption. Then he said One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Inception.
Then he said Inception. Then he said Training Day. And his number 1 movie was
The Game.
The Game. That's right. The Game. All right. Carlos, what's your 5th one? And it better start Brad Pitt.
The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, that's the best Star Wars movie. So you just picked the best Star Wars movie? That's all you did?
Huh?
You just picked this best Star Wars movie and just went with that one?
Yeah, that's my favorite Star Wars movie.
It's the best one too. Mine is going to be. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I really like Interview with the Vampire. Can I watch it every time it's on? I don't know, but it is a good movie though. I'm just trying to think because there are some really good movies with like bigger stars like Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise and and I'm like, which one of those movies? I'm like, man, I could always watch these. But there's one with Brad Pitt and Robert Redford that's really good. I just can't remember the name of it. Even you know what? Even the remake of Sherlock Holmes with Downey Jr. That's a fantastic movie. Like that's something I could watch over and over. But I'm gonna go comedy. Let's just go comedy. And I'm gonna go comedy, and I'm gonna go with. We did a Mount Rushmore of comedy. I'll probably go with the. It's probably gonna be. It'll probably be Team America. I can watch that movie all the time. It's just so stupid. I can watch it all the time. It's so goddamn dumb. Just goddamn, that movie's.
I have a great comedy one.
Go ahead, give me one. Give me one.
Galaxy Quest. Because they play it straight.
And
I know. That's the best comedy when you play.
It is a good movie.
It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong. I like that movie.
But the funny parts are hilarious.
Does it make the level of like, I'll watch it every time it's on? Because it's on a lot. But I won't stop and watch it.
Well, that's well, Batman Begins is also another one I can totally stop and watch the rest of if I catch it somewhere. And so is The Fifth Element. I think that movie's funny and
it's
good.
A good one, man. That's a good movie. That District 9 kind of falls in that realm for me.
District 9's great.
District 9. They're finally making a sequel to that. Finally.
Holy
and that was the next. What movie should have sequels made? That's absolutely.
That one for sure. True. Now, which movies had a sequel made where you're like, go to hell, get out of here? And
I'll go the other way
with The Crow Part 2. What a piece of shit! You can't give us
3.
Yeah, all 3 was worse. It got worse and worse. Yeah. Oh my god! And then you could probably put some Terminator movies in there. How about one of the Rockies Part 5? That's
you can put all the Predator movies. Anything after the original Predator is trash. Anything after the original.
The one on the Predator World was not bad. No.
Which
Predators. One? Predators were on the Predator World. The one with Adrian
Brody.
Brody, that one's not bad.
No, that wasn't good.
I agree, not bad.
Wasn't good, but there's always Spider-Man 3 to fall back on. So there you go. Oh man,
that's just a movie where the director was like, you know what, I'm just kind of done with this crap, so let's just hurry up and get this out because the studio's pressuring me. And here's your garbage.
It's because he had to put Venom in it, no matter what. That's what they told him. And so he did. He shoved them in there. That's what you got. When you shove things in, you got to also poop them back out. And Hugh knows all about that. Let's take a break here, nerds.
Wait, I want to put. No, I got a series of movies that I thought turned out. The Wick series. John Wick.
Oh, man. The third John Wick is super trash.
I didn't.
Wait, what do you say? What about the Wick movies? You're saying you like the Wick movies?
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like the third one, man. The second one
I found the third one boring because it was nothing.
The third one was
the same as the first two.
The worst part of the third one when almost everything is marginally believable until he falls off a building.
Oh, like it hits everything on the way down and gets up and walks away.
He does. No, he gets carted off. He gets carted off in a shopping cart.
Yeah,
but still though.
But you know how bad? Okay, here's the same reason Carlos didn't like it. Same reason I didn't like it, because we saw this already in the first two, where he can just go through a building and we know he's gonna get to the end. Like no one's gonna mess with him. He's gonna shoot everyone to death. It still got boring. And then the gunfight between the two villains was fun though. But him and the main villain, when they're like, it was a gunfight. It wasn't like a shootout. It was an actual gunfight.
That was good.
Yeah.
But underutilized Halle Berry like crazy. Like they made her seem like she's badass, and they barely used.
Yeah.
But the third one was kind of I remember watching that going, oh, you know what? I can only take so much of this. That's how I felt. I'm like, really
you kind of went numb halfway through.
Yeah.
It was like, is it almost over?
Yeah, because there's no more story. It was 45 minutes of bang, 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 bang. But you're like, oh my god, I know people like this crap, but this gets tiring. Like,
I want a suit like his though.
It would have been best that
if you can take bullets at point blank, right?
But he had
and
a
then
suit,
fall off a building.
His suit wasn't a suit like Kevlar or something.
Yeah.
But still, you know, what'd been really great at the end when he fell off the building. And he gets up and he
walks
looks back,
into a phone booth.
No, he puts shades on. His suit turns all black and he flies away. You're just in the Matrix.
Neo.
You're like, son of a bitch. All
And
his
you
movies, all his movies are The Matrix. Every single one.
And you just brought me to my last subject. What do you think about the making of the next Matrix?
If it's good, I mean, the first two were more, and the first one was like mind blowing. Second one was good. Third one, too much. We've already had too much.
Garbage.
Like we ran out. Like we're out of fuel.
Right.
So the fourth one by the Wachowski sisters,
Yeah.
better be good. Like, and
man,
I think it's going to HBO Max.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
it's the year end movie. It's like
It
the
is.
December.
Oh,
December
wow.
film.
Oh, wow.
But these movies where they're coming out with a sequel 30 to 40 years later, to me it's just a cash grab. It's like
it is.
This has been, you should have done this a while ago.
But
it's garbage.
But what's the flaw in those movies? What is the flaw?
The story?
No,
The old
flaw-
guys?
Exactly. The flaw is that these studios think that these guys still have pull, and they don't anymore. Nobody wants to watch Coming to America 2. Nobody wants to watch Dumb and Dumber 2. They want an original Eddie Murphy movie or an original Jim Carrey movie. Those movies are done.
Right.
We don't care anymore. Like, that's it. You know,
Like the Bill and Ted. I mean, I didn't.
I thought that was good.
It wasn't.
I actually thought it was pretty good.
Okay, here's the thing. It's not a bad movie. It's actually kind of funny. It's
Better than I
done.
thought.
But still, in the end, I was like, you didn't have to make it. We're good. Like, I enjoyed it, but I was like, Like, I watched Coming to America 2. It's literally the same movie as the first one. It's almost the same jokes, everything. And you're like, why'd you make this? Just so you, and it was easy. You know why he made it? Because Netflix was like, we'll give you this much money. And Amazon came along and said, we'll give you more money. Sure, we'll make this movie for you.
I still think there's big market for Keanu, though. I do. Keanu is still.
Oh no, you're not wrong. Keanu Reeves is a huge market, but do you want to see a third movie in a movie that has been made since 1988 or 1980, whatever it was, 89? You know what I mean? Give me a new Keanu movie, but I don't want to watch Bill and Ted.
No, but The Matrix isn't that old. You can add another chapter.
You know, here's the funny thing about you saying that. Another story about being in Target. I'm in Target a lot. I'm in the DVD section, and these two kids, probably like 18, 19, and they're looking at DVDs and like, what are we gonna watch, man? We're gonna watch. And then one picks up the Matrix trilogy and goes, I heard this is really good. And the other guy goes, I never even heard of that. What is it? And I just looked at him and I was like, you got to watch that. He's like, what? He's like, dude, those, like, you're going to really enjoy, like, you young kids, you're going to love this movie. What's it about? And when I explained to him what it is, total mind fucked. Like, they thought they were in the Matrix all of a sudden. Like, wait a second. So this might not be real? I'm like, you got to watch it. And they right away, like $10, hell yeah. And they just bought it and bailed.
Love that.
Those two guys, probably high, after the first movie, had sex. Anyway.
I think Equilibrium is a better movie than Matrix.
Oh, that's a good movie too. Oh,
Equilibrium's
man.
a good movie.
That's Christian Bale.
Yeah,
man, I think that's kind of like his like breakout movie, isn't it?
No, I think The Machinist is breakout movie.
Well, no, Machinist was way past that movie.
Was it?
Like,
that was. I thought that was before. No, then I guess it is Equilibrium. Yeah. No, but that's a good movie.
Machinist made him Mr. Oscar guy. He'll do anything to make it. I'll lose 80 pounds and I'll weigh 80 pounds to win an Oscar. That's
Christian Bale. Yeah.
Christian, yeah. So I'll just take a break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back with one more segment. See you after this.
How you doing? Tell your mama said hello. You still got that dog? Nah, too bad. I like your shoes. All right. I'll see you next time. I gotta go listen to the podcast.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Prime Minister of Canada. Hugh McChord, again, knows a guy that owns a Betamax, and he tried to put it inside of his Laserdisc player. And I'm Lafayette. I don't know anyone. Don't ask questions. All right. So we're talking in the break more movies, and Hugh brought up Avatar, and to kind of like we'll go around. But I mean, you guys interested in seeing part 2, 3? I think there's 4.
No.
I mean, he's filming these like back to back.
Right.
Has anyone seen it more than once? I've seen it one time, and I have no interest in seeing it again.
I saw it twice in the theaters and maybe once when it came out on TV. because to be honest, when that movie was mind blowing when I saw it the first time.
Oh, in the
Mainly
theaters, yeah.
Yeah. In the theaters, it was like, this is awesome. Look, I mean, wow, these freaking CGI characters look super real,
And the colors and
everything about it.
Yeah.
Like this is the story was generic. Let's just be honest. The story was generic, but everything else, the acting, everything in it was like, man, this is awesome.
I completely agree. Completely. I mean,
now, number one movie of all time, just as of recent, did you guys hear about this? Because number one movie of all time was actually Avengers: Infinity War, but because they released the movie again over in Asia, just so they can beat out Infinity War, and they did, just so they can claim it.
Somebody's got a bad ego issue.
No, but you know why? I guarantee I know why that happened. So they can market it when the sequels come out as the number one movie of all time, the number one franchise. They can call it a franchise now of all time.
How many would you say he was doing 2, 3? He's doing 2, 3, 4, and 5.
He is. No, he's doing total of 5 of these. Now, the thing is this. Where do you go with these movies? Because according to what we saw, there's no other tribes on they're all the same, even though they're whatever. They're like, is it another invasion movie? Because the first one is an invasion movie.
Right.
Is it just more of like, what do you do with these movies? Is the second one a buddy cop drama, a comedy, and the third one's a soap opera?
Sink a ship in the third one.
Oh, the third one, Jack shows up. Like that's what I mean. Like, and then the fourth one, Schwarzenegger shows up.
That's right. All Cameron tie-ins. That's right.
Like the Avatar guy's like, who's this guy? We need to go now. Why? There's a guy cutting down your forest. We'll go back in time and stop him. And it's just part 1 all over again. Like it plays back. Like he gets so lazy with making the movie. The first 10 minutes is Schwarzenegger, then it's part 1 just replayed. Like, and then they CGI Schwarzenegger in it. like that's the thing is, where do you go with these movies? I mean, I was saying
maybe the Predators invade. That'd be good.
Well, like I was saying, he's only worked on these, and he claims to have technology. Now, don't get me wrong. He does spearhead the technology in Hollywood. He really does.
He does.
He is the guy that did IMAX and everything, 4K, like 8K, whatever. He is the guy. But if he's only been working on this and only this alone since how long has it been? Maybe 8 years, maybe more since Avatar?
More.
Maybe 10 years? Yeah. These movies should be amazing. Like the writing should be like, holy crap.
He did work on Alita as well.
But he was a producer though.
But he had big input though. So
he did.
The technology in her eyes and everything.
Yeah. Well, his production company made Alita, but the what's his name? Rodriguez. What's his first name? Robert Rodriguez directed it. And that was a fun movie. I enjoyed it.
So,
but
Avatar came out in 2009.
Oh man, so we're looking at 12 years. And so 12 years gap. And the next one doesn't come out till I think 2022 or 2023. So it's not even like anytime soon. But you're gonna get these movies after that back to back.
Yeah.
My thing is somebody must have plotted out all the movies. That's the only thing I can think of.
Avatar 5 is supposed to come out in 2028.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They do come out they come out like 1 year after the next, after the next one drops and so forth. The thing is, like Star Wars, I don't believe George Lucas one bit, claiming he plotted out everything.
No, he didn't.
Cameron had to have plotted out all these movies. He just had to have. There's no way that you continue making these, trying to come up with a fresh story. Or he does like Lord of the Rings, where they end on a cliffhanger, and they connect. This movie connects to the next, where it's not one-off stories. So
one long story. Right.
Yeah, I think what happens is they do find a ring and they got to return it to Mordor. And that's all he does is Lord of the Rings with blue people. That's it. Like what do you do, man?
Under a Tree of Life.
Oh man. I am definitely interested. I'm going to watch it because of the fact that I want to see what he does with it. Do they have pants now? Have they actually, somebody came up with shoes for them? What's the next evolution of the blue people? Like, do they still stick their tails into each other's bums to get it on? Like, what is the deal? No, their hair. Was it their hair? Right? Like their hair connects or something?
That was one he rented that one.
I
Yeah,
didn't
me and a
rent
bunch
it.
of guys rented that.
It was, yeah, we all gathered around. All right, guys, remember, in the bums, sickos, you sick perverts. I don't know. It's an interesting.
Isn't there a theme park tie-in with this as well?
No, it's already out. That's at Disney World. It looks
Oh, it
freaking
is?
badass. Yeah,
Oh.
it looks. I heard it's like one of the best things in Disney World is the Avatar part of the park.
Now,
You sit around in circles and you chant.
Yeah, you chant. Yep. A wimbo way, a wimbo way. Oh, in the
See, I'd like-
jungle, the mighty jungle. Go ahead.
I'd like to see a sequel to Alita. Going back to Alita.
Alita, and you can do a sequel for Alita. Actually, you could. do
It was absolutely totally left right there with him
yeah.
looking down. The
Yeah,
last
I just man,
Edward Norton makes a reappearance.
Avatar's interesting. Let's leave off on this real quick. We'll do a quick Mount Rushmore. This will probably be easy for you guys, but give me your Mount Rushmore of streaming shows that you've watched on streaming platforms. The ones that you know are the best. You recommend them all the time. And that's how we'll end today's show. All right. So, streaming platform. Real quick, I'm going to give you Stranger Things. I'm going to give you The Boys on Amazon. I'm going to give you Umbrella Academy. Man, that's a good one. And my fourth one, it's going to be you know what? It's an Amazon show. It's either going to be Fleabag, which is really good. It's for adults only, please. It's adult humor. Or it's going to be the Miss Maisel, the wonderful Miss Maisel, whatever. I really enjoy that show. But there's other ones out there that are, man, the fourth one's tough because there's also the Haunted Hill House, whatever, the first season. Phenomenal show. So there's a lot of good ones, but I'm going to go with number 4. I'm still going to stick to the Miss Maisel. Amazon gets 2 on my list and Netflix gets 2 on my list. Okay, Hugh, give me your 4. Go.
Well, I gave the first 3 you mentioned. Completely.
So The
agree.
Boys, Umbrella
Stranger-
Academy, Stranger Things.
yeah.
What's number 4?
Well, just because I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but I liked the Karate Kid.
It's good.
Cobra Kai.
It's Cobra Kai. It's fun. It's a fun show. Yeah. Okay, Carlos, give me your 4. Go.
Oh man.
There's just things that you
mine's
would
just a lot of-
recommend.
Huh? Oh,
Like you top
you know
4,
what? I
like
would
top-
recommend the boy. If someone were to ask me Boys or Umbrella Academy, I would say
I'd be
Boys
the Boys.
over the Umbrella
Yeah.
Academy.
I would do that. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would do that. Yeah.
So Boys, Stranger Things.
Mhm.
Man, we talking like original shows?
Yeah. Mhm. Ones that only you can only get them through these channels. Hulu has a good one too. It's Stephen King novel. Oh, not novel, but
The Stand.
Castle Rock.
Castle Rock. Oh
Castle
man, both seasons are amazing. But season 2 is like mind blowing. Castle Rock is awesome.
I thought it was The Stand.
Oh, Perry
No,
Mason.
not The Stand.
I'd put
Perry
Perry Mason. on
Mason
there.
is very good.
Perry Mason.
So if your 4th one is Perry Mason.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's so many good ones. I mean, streaming is the way to go. It really is. When you want to watch great original television, you won't run out of shit to watch.
Castle Rock. Okay, there
But
it is.
definitely the Marvelous World of the Miss Maisel.
No,
Carlos's
I found that
favorite show.
boring.
Carlos is hands down. He loved it.
it
He called
boring.
me. This is the actual phone call from Carlos. I said, hey, the
You
day
gonna play it?
before.
Okay,
The
good.
day before, I was like, hey, Carlos, you should watch. I heard it's good. You guys talk about it a lot. You should watch. And then this is the phone call I actually got back from him. Oh, that was so funny. I liked it a lot. And he hung up. And I was like, Dad, Carlos sounds very different. Very different. and then I got a call back. This is the office of the Prime Minister of Canada. And I was like, oh, can I talk to him? Yes. He wants to talk to you about the show again.
Yes,
it was
buddy.
so good.
Hey, buddy,
Oh.
can we talk about the show?
Hey, buddy. Hey, guy, friend, guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy.
Not your
Oh,
buddy,
hey, friend.
guy.
I'm not your friend, buddy. Terrence and Phillip, man. Okay, well, there we go. That's our show. Thanks for tuning in. If you learned anything, you learned that I don't want to get punched in the face, even for money. Hugh likes Shawshank Redemption too much. Carlos is a politician in Canada, still holds on to the title.
Damn right.
And what are they going to do with Avatar? God damn it. What are they going to do with Avatar? We'll find out. Thanks for tuning in to Nerds Talking the Podcast. See you next time. Oh, wait a second. I forgot. That's Hugh.
See ya.
That's Carlos.
Bye-bye.
And you can reach us at Nerds Talking
Selfish son of a bitch.
at yahoo.com. I was trying to just hog it all. Reach us at Nerds Talking at yahoo.com. Subscribe, hit the like button, download, turn on your notifications, leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time.